So today I'm here with a video to explain how I'm doing my die storage. This is how I have been storing my dies on these art bin sheets, and it works fine. I like it, but I've got so many of them now that I have 3 of these little plastic buckets, and they're so heavy and they're taking up so much room that I've decided that I need to redo my die storage in a way that will allow me to continue to grow my collection without taking up all of my desk space and without being so heavy that it's difficult to lift and move around. So what I have decided to do is to buy these. Let me get a package so I can show you what it looks like. I bought a bunch of these magnetic die covers from Lowe's, and they're $4 and some change for a pack, and you get 3 in a pack. They are this big, so they're rather large, and I actually cut these up into sections. So what I do is, with my paper trimmer, I cut it into... Okay guys, so these are the measurements that I'm using for my my die storage panels. For my cardstock, I'm cutting it at 5 3/8 by 7, and the magnetic sheets I'm cutting at 5 by 6 7/8. So what I do is I just take my ATG and I put adhesive all around the edges of the magnetic sheet, and then I do one diagonal stripe, and then I just put it on the piece of cardstock. And this is just the Georgia Pacific cardstock from Walmart. You can get 150 sheets for like $5.98 or something like that. So I'll do one more, and then I'll come back and show you what they look like with the dies on them, and also inside of the pockets, and what they're like completed. So there you go. That's my new stamp, or I'm sorry, I keep saying stamp. My new die storage panel. So I will be right back, guys. Okay, so now I'm making the dividers for my fridge bin, or interdesign fridge bin, whatever you want to call it. And I don't want to use the plastic folders that Jennifer McGuire and anybody else uses. I would rather just use laminated cardstock. So what I've done is I've taken some Basil Card Shop Jawbreaker cardstock, which matches my craft room, and I'm just running it through my laminator. This is my little Purple Cows laminator, and all you do is take your cardstock, stick it in the pocket like this, and then you just run it. Here, I'll move this over so you can see, and then you just run it straight through. It does take a little bit because it's a slow, it has to heat, you know, like it has to melt the laminating sheet and stuff. So it does take a few minutes, so if you're impatient like me, it's probably better to be doing 2 things at once. So then once it's laminated, it looks like this. And you can either trim off the extra with your paper trimmer, or you can just take a pair of scissors. And where are my scissors? Oh, we'll use these. Or you can take a pair of scissors and just do this, like trim it yourself. And if they're sharp, they'll just run right along like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to cut this down to, my dividers are going to be 5.5 by 7 3/4. So they're 5.5 wide and 7 3/4 inches tall. So I'm going to go ahead and make my dividers, and then when I come back, I will show you my finished die storage. So I finished my die storage, and I just wanted to share that with you. But I was just going to show you, this is what it looks like when it's finished. Well, I have a label that I need to put on it. So I'm using these labels from Avery, and they're 8167, and they're just return address labels. And I just, well, that one's on crooked. I just do that and label it like that. So this is what the little thing looks like, the little storage pocket. And then this one would go under borders. So I'm just going to put that back here under borders. So this is what I have. It's one of these double fridge bin things that Jennifer McGuire uses for her stamps. I bought this and used it for my mists for a long time until I ran out of room, and then I got a Raskog from IKEA and moved my mists into that. Since then, it's been sitting in my craft room with no purpose, and I had 2 problems. I didn't have a place to put my stamps that were in DVD cases. Most of my stamps are in those little storage pockets that I made, and I showed you that. in a recent video. But then my large stamp sets I store in these DVD cases from Stampin' Up. Well, I didn't have a place for them, and I also didn't have a place for my dies, and it just so happened that they fit perfectly in this container. So now I have a place for both. With that being said, if I get any more DVD cases, I'm going to have to get another one of these bins. So anyway, let me show you my die storage. So this is a divider, and it is a laminated piece of cardstock with a label on it. And I have a blog post that shows all of my categories and subcategories. So my categories, the stickers are on this side. Subcategories, the stickers are on this side. So if I want something, I have an inventory on Evernote. So if I want a specific die that goes with a stamp set, all I have to do is go to this section called Stamp Companions and then look for the maker. So let's say I want a Lawn Fawn stamp. These are all my Lawn Fawn Stamp Companion dies. I don't like to keep them in the same pocket as the stamp set because, well, to be honest, I have OCD and it's just one of my little things. I don't like things mixed. I like everything separate. But that is my die storage, and I really like it. I think it's really easy to find everything. I've got multiple dies on most of these pockets, as you can see. And when it comes to those little tiny stamp sets, like from Lawn Fawn, let me find one and I'll show you what I did. Like this one has 4 sets on one magnetic sheet, and I just put on my label the name of each one. Can you see that? So it's got Love You Tons, Hedgehogs, Wheelie Like You, and Will You Be Mine, or Whale You Be Mine, and they're all 4 on this one magnetic sheet. So it saves a lot of space. And my dies took up, before, they took up 2 of these, or I'm sorry, 2 of these containers, and I needed a 3rd one. Now they're all in this one little space. And that's like 300 dies. Between 250 and 300 dies, and they're in here. So anyway, that is my die storage. If you have any questions about how I did this, I'll have a blog post in the description box, and also a link to all the products that I use, but I mostly use stuff that I had in my craft room already. If you have any questions, just holler at me. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.